You're watching The Daily Rut, and I am Leo. This is a vlog where I just kind of document my day to day, what I'm thinking, what I want to do, where I go, what I like to do, whatever. Depends on what I feel like at any given moment, and that's kind of how this goes. So today, or tonight, I'm recording this at night. A lot of these I might record at night because I would like it to be a day to day, every single day type of vlog, but I run out of subjects sometimes that I want to talk about, and I kind of get like sidetracked with that stuff, and I don't know what to just talk about because your day to day life can be pretty boring, and that's kind of my life right now. It's pretty standstill almost. It's just pretty much nothing happens. So I do this vlog as kind of like a form of therapy to kind of give me something to do, kind of somebody to like kind of tell about my thoughts and stuff sometimes, and just kind of do that. So I'm just kind of sitting here on the couch, and this is kind of like, I think it's like 10:30 at night, and I just figured I would do this, especially at night. It's easier for me to do these things at night because I'm a night shift person, and everybody's in the neighborhood is a little bit quieter at night, so I don't have to worry about my dogs barking because there's stuff going on, cars driving by, and things going on. So I just decided today I'm going to do a little vlog, just kind of talk about whatever. I just want to talk about like things I like to do, I guess. I don't like to talk about myself, but this is my vlog, so I kind of feel like I should be talking about things that are dealing with my life. So it's not like it's a narcissistic thing, but it's like it's just part of my life, you know. So anyway, I just thought, well, what things do I actually like in life? Is there things that I enjoy? Because I mean, after my wife died, I was kind of really depressed. Things were just kind of just standstill, and like I said, there's just not really much going on, you know. And the house is kind of empty feeling. I got these two dogs, Max and Zini. Eventually, you'll see them more on video. I mean, you can see Zini right here sleeping, but she's not really doing anything. And then Max is sitting next to me, and I don't want to lift him up and kind of make him wake up. But yeah. So, and Zini, she's a lab, kind of a mix, but she's a lab, and a yellow lab anyway. And then Max is a Shih Tzu, and he's kind of messy looking right now. He needs a haircut. He needs a bath, I think, too. But anyway, so getting to the point, for me, things that I enjoy, I'm a 47. Well, I'm going to be 48 this month, actually, and I'm a 47-year-old person who's just kind of kind of a nerd, I guess. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people are grown adults, so they just don't get into enjoying things that are nerd culture and things that are that type of thing. And if you're a Christian, sometimes a lot of Christians want to come after people who say that they enjoy things other than just reading the Bible and sitting in a room meditating 24 hours a day, because that's all they do. Obviously, they're not online complaining to other Christians and talking bad about them. So, but so I'm just going to tell you what I'm into, and if you don't like it, that's not my problem. That's your problem. So I like to go to movies, or at least I used to go to movies a lot more before Disney and all these other franchises just tried to kill themselves and decided to make everything woke and full of agenda and pushing agendas on people and just destroying stories and not sticking to the original source and all that stuff. But I used to like movies. I really did, honestly. And there's a lot of older movies that I do enjoy. Unfortunately, new movies are not so good anymore. I mean, I did talk about Dune Part 2 recently that I enjoyed. I thought that was a pretty good movie. I mean, it was well done anyway, at least. I do like a lot of science fiction stuff. Not just any old science fiction, though, not B movies that are just bad special effects and bad story, bad acting, you know. I like high quality science fiction and high quality anything like stories. But And I've always wanted to actually write some stories. I'm not going to talk about them on here because I know people steal the idea, obviously. But I also did music for a while. I can go back to that anytime, but it's like it's hard to do right now. I need to get a new iPad, and because for me, the music I make on I use GarageBand. It's like this app that Apple has on their iPads and iPhones and their computers and stuff. And it's basically a studio, a recording studio for like if you were to make music, you could actually sit down, you could play the keyboard, but you could play any keyboard, you could play any guitar, and you could play it in the keys with the keyboard, and it's really easy to just kind of play with that and kind of do things with that so you can actually make your own stuff. And I don't like to make music that sounds like everybody else. I don't like to make music that is other people's songs and try to just redo their songs and just sing their songs. So I'm not into that. I do like people's music, but my kind of music that I enjoy is not usually Christian music. I know because I'm a Christian, but really I don't like a lot of Christian music because it's corny and it always sounds exactly the same, and it's always just this. It's really repetitive. And I know the Bible says you're not supposed to be repetitive with your prayers and all that stuff. I wonder if that applies to Christian music that's repetitive, saying, oh, Jesus, oh, Jesus, oh, Jesus, and gets hooked on this little loop for like 20 minutes in these concerts where people just kind of turn into zombies and kind of zone out like on this one line that the singer can't come up with any other words or something. I don't like that. I can't stand that. That drives me nuts. That's not Christianity to me. Christianity is old-fashioned. It's speaking the truth, even if it gets your head cut off. That type of stuff. That's what the Bible has all through it. I don't understand what happened to the church in America, but I guess they're just not actually reading the Bible anymore. But that being said, the music I like is usually something that's not, like I said, I'm not trying to worry about what other people think of me, but I just know that a lot of people will come on and comment on things and just kind of like a drive-by shooting with their comments because they're hiding behind a computer and on a keyboard. And I know that they can do that, and whatever, that's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. If you want to be a bad person toward people and treat people badly, and if you're a Christian and you do that, and you basically make other Christians not want to know Christians, kind of like me in a lot of ways, then that's your thing. But when you get to meet Jesus, that's between you and him. I don't know what he's going to think of you if you're just constantly shooting the messenger. But the kind of music I like, a lot of those people probably would say I'm a Satan worshiper, or I don't know what they would think. But I don't like satanic music. But I do like music that is creative, that doesn't sound like everybody else. Like I like a lot of songs from Arcade Fire. That's like a indie band. They're like rock, but there's a lot of their music that's also propaganda and garbage too to me. But putting aside that, they do have some talented songs that they have done, and I enjoy them because it's a husband and wife singing. I don't know how good they are together in real life, because I've heard that the lead singer has kind of played around with other chicks, and his wife in the band doesn't really seem to care, and they have a kid, and I don't know what's going on with all that. I don't follow drama around that. I'm just saying that I enjoy their talent. Talent is a gift from God. Whether they like it or not, they have a gift from God. If they hate God, it doesn't matter. They still got a gift from God. So sometimes when you see the talent, there's some good things even in the people who are against God. They don't even realize it, but God actually gave them these things, and they don't even know how lucky they are. But in the past, I used to like Nine Inch Nails. That was a hard, heavy electronic type of band, and they were very satanic in some of their older stuff. As they've gotten older, or I shouldn't say they, it's always one guy, it's Trent Reznor. That's the lead singer and the creator of all the music, basically. I liked a lot of his music because he created music that didn't sound like everybody else. And he didn't want to sound like anybody else. And I enjoy that. I respect a person who could sit down and say, okay, you did all that. I want to do something completely different because I don't want to sound like you. And that's kind of how I am. And the music that I tried to make in the past has always been like that. I've always been a person who sits down and says, yes, I know you can play the guitar this way and everyone does it, and everybody plays the drums this way and everyone does it, and everyone plays this, that, and the other thing, and everyone sings in the same kind of manner. This has always got to be a love song, or it's always got to be done this way. In my mind, I just throw all that out, throw it out completely, and it's garbage to me, and go, how can I make a song that I enjoy, that I want to listen to myself, that doesn't sound like everybody else? And that's kind of how I think. And I think that way in everything. When I was growing up, I was an artist and I tried to create paintings, and I usually use watercolor, but I also used it really thick so it kind of looked like oil painting a lot of times. And I would do all these things. I won a couple of awards, I guess, growing up. I'm not going to brag about myself, but when I was in high school, so I did pretty well. And it was always abstract, and that stuff when I was in high school, that was more or less satanic garbage because I was into heavy rock music, and I was just not what I am today. So whatever. But I've changed over the years, and that's just how I am now. I'm not that way anymore. But I still enjoy the talent behind some of these musicians and stuff. Anyway, so I was into art. I was always a creative person, kind of stuck in my room, doing my own thing. I wasn't very popular. I was kind of picked on in school, all through high school even, kind of distant, kind of left to myself. Not very, I was just kind of an introvert. I got along with my mom pretty well, I guess. I'm kind of a mama's boy, I guess. I always liked video games. I liked playing video games growing up, and I've always had video games throughout my whole life, a console to play games, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. I had a PlayStation 2, and as over time, I still have consoles right now that I play, and, being 47 doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that you have to just become this old, stale, boring person. And that being said, now I'm going to get to one of my little hobbies, I guess. And that is, I collect Transformer toys and Masters of the Universe toys. And I'm not going to show them off on this video because I just have to take the camera around and it's not, whatever. But just keep in mind that when I say that, that probably sounds childish to a lot of people. But you do know that the people who always made fun of me in high school about who would make fun of people that were like me, they collect jerseys and all these football player things. They know all the names of all the football players, all the names of all these things. And you know what that is? That's a nerd. That's just a different kind of nerd. Oh, this is Max. He's trying to move. Yeah, he's trying to move across the couch now. Anyway, but so that's a nerd. So they are nerds picking on nerds for being nerds. Because if you collect all these football player clothing and all this sports memorabilia and all this stuff, that's no different than a guy my age collecting Masters of the Universe because he grew up with it as a kid. Because I was kind of poor as a kid, so I had to rely on the county to buy me some of these toys that I had when I was a kid because my parents didn't have a lot of money when I was in that age group. So I would see these cartoons and all these things, and I never could buy them. So whatever, I'm not trying to make you feel bad for me, but so that's kind of what, as an adult, when I got a little more money and I was able to take care of myself and deal with things, then I found out that the adult market for collecting these actual toys, which they just sit on your shelf, it's not like you're playing with them. They're like a collector's item. It's like if you were to buy sculptures of football players or whatever and put them on your shelf, because I know that that's the idol that everyone thinks that is better than a toy collector, because, for some reason sports is okay to be all obsessive about. But if you collect Transformer toys that are actually the designing that goes into these things, way better than anything football players could come up with. I'll tell you that. It actually takes some talent and some effort to create a robot that transforms from a robot into a vehicle, and actually both of these things look totally different from each other. That takes talent. That takes design. That takes engineering. That's creative stuff. I enjoy that because of that. I just like the engineering part of that. Whereas Masters of the Universe was always kind of a good versus evil kind of just interesting thing. And a lot of Christians would say I'm satanic now because of Skeletor had a skeleton face. Oh my God. And then Castle Grayskull is a green kind of moss covered old castle that has a skull on it. Oh, then I'm going to hell. You know, that type of, because that's how some of these Christians can be online. So I just know that that's what some of these people, if they run across my video, or some of them are on Facebook or whatever, if they see my stuff, that's kind of the way they talk about everything. It's just kind of like everything satanic, except for them, of course, because they buy iPhones that are made by slaves. They go to stores that support agendas that they don't actually believe in, that they say that you should stop supporting. They're just full of lies. They're hypocrites. So I just tend to just go, whatever. You guys can, whatever you want to do, I'm going to be myself. I still love the Lord. I still pray to the Lord. I still know about the Lord. I read the Bible, everything. So I don't know why, you know, whatever. I'm not worldly either. So it's not like I would die for these things. But that's kind of the things I'm into. I have a lot of stories, though, I really want to create someday. Like I have a bunch of short stories that all kind of fit in the same universe, but I can't talk about them on here because people steal ideas, and I can't even talk about my music ideas on here because I have people steal that stuff. So you can't share it with anyone unless it's somebody real close to you. But that's pretty much it. I don't want to talk too much about everything. I just wanted to kind of go over that. But tell me what you think in the comment section below, because I really kind of wonder what people think sometimes of the things I say, talk about, or whatever. Just kind of give me some, heads up and what you think about this stuff. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. And I just wanted to just tell you that stuff and see what you guys think. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching The Daily Rut. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this vlog.